So I had a request to do some fiction on my anti-despair reading list. That could be a very long list, but I will start with the one that has made the biggest difference for me. It's also one of the longest books I've ever read. It's Jerusalem by Alan Moore. Moore's main inspiration for the book is the neighborhood that he grew up in Northampton, England. It's called the Boroughs. It's this working class, kind of poor neighborhood that had this enormous amount of history in it. And he basically watched it over the course of his life. He was born in the 50s. He watched it basically being bulldozed and, kind of destroyed in the name of progress. And all of these old ancient buildings would be replaced with these like kind of hideous high rises and things like that. He was super depressed by this, and so Jerusalem is basically his attempt at coming to terms with the loss of that neighborhood and also trying to immortalize it in some way. The core concept at the center of this is Moore's understanding of what time is, and he uses the block universe understanding of Einstein's concept of space-time, which is that all moments that we've ever lived and all moments that will happen already exist in an actual like physical form, and we're just kind of like experiencing it in just one direction. It's a pretty trippy understanding, but actually Kurt Vonnegut kind of did a similar thing in Slaughterhouse-Five with his aliens, the Tralfamadorians, who could see time the way that we could see like a mountain range with like, if you saw a human, you would see a little baby at the beginning and it was just like a caterpillar, and then there was an old guy at the end. A lot of other writers have tried to grapple with visualizing the Einstein's understanding of space-time. None of it's perfectly scientific, but it's all pretty interesting. For Moore, what it means is that all of the moments that we've lived in actually do exist. So, in a sense, there doesn't need to be any sort of afterlife or anything supernatural. All your worst moments are hell, all your best moments are heaven. It also means that everything you've lost still exists somewhere back there in the ether. For him, that was a way of kind of, coming to terms with the loss of this place that was really important to him. For our sake, if we're feeling super depressed about the state of the world or anything like that, or about the fact that, all these different species are dying, or that so many things seem to be falling apart, this is a really comforting way of understanding that we're just at one point in time. All the previous points of time that we miss are still very much there. Alan Moore is best known for all of his other work, Watchmen, V for Vendetta, for all the comic stuff that he did. But the thing that the man cares most about in the world is imagination, and he kind of sees imagination as a way of us transporting ourselves back into these other times and into these other people's lives. It's a really, really beautiful book. It goes through, there are all sorts of different characters in each chapter. Some of the chapters are done in totally different formats. Some are poems, some are plays. Some of them are like James Joyce style Finnegan's Wake stuff. It's a difficult read, but it's a really, really cool one, and I really marked the moment that my depression ended as the month or so that I spent reading Alan Moore's Jerusalem, so highly recommend it.